Well, welcome, folks, to this edition of the Weekly Word. Father Ed.
Brother Dominic.
Nice to have you join us as we are reflecting upon the 30th Sunday in the liturgical year. You know, there's only 34. So what struck me when I got to 30, I thought, wow, we're getting to the end here. And so it is a little bit of a warning of the coming of Advent at the end of October, of November. So time flies, as they say. And we have some beautiful readings on this priesthood Sunday. It's a little uncomfortable for us priests because it kind of promotes people saying thank you to us. And so I always hesitate about these things, but it's really not an opportunity for people to thank us, but for all of us to give thanks for the gift of the priesthood and to pray that more people will sense the call to especially the diocesan priesthood. That's what Father Dominic and I are, diocesan priests. And it kind of fits into the gospel text that we have for this Sunday, and it's the healing of the son of Timaeus, or as the Hebrew word would call it, Bar Timaeus. And he's on the side of the road and he's calling out to Jesus, and then Jesus stops and turns around and calls him, and then he heals him, and then Bartimaeus is invited by what he sees, I'm presuming, to follow the Lord.
Yeah, and I think with this particular gospel, we see that, like many of the other healing miracles, we see that Jesus wants to heal us. That whatever suffering we're undergoing in our lives, Jesus, if it is God's will, Jesus is able to remove that from our lives, and so in this case it's that impairment of sight. However, again, if it's according to God's plan, Jesus will bring about some change in our lives, because I think sometimes we have the problem of having our own plan for our lives and then telling Jesus, well, this is my plan, and if my plan needs to go according to plan, you need to heal me. And Jesus is like, whoa. I, give you the plan. And so, basically, we see the healing of Bartimaeus, and it's really geared towards his following Jesus. And so, Jesus healed Bartimaeus because he loved him, but also because he had a plan for him, and his sight would be very helpful in that following of Jesus. And so I think of especially with this idea of priesthood and vocation in the air, it's about, God, where are you calling me in my life? And then when we discern and when we allow God to lead us, then God will start kind of moving mountains or moving difficulties or impairments so that we can follow his plan.
Yeah, I was thinking that this blindness and the removal of blindness is connected, as Father was saying, to vocation. And so maybe from the reverse side is, I wonder what it is in our lives that is blocking us or causing us to be blind to seeing what God is calling us to. We oftentimes talk about the will of God, that I would know the will of God, and I'm thinking that blindness and seeing might be a metaphor for seeing where God is calling me to. So in a sense, what is God's will for me? Oftentimes we'll say, oh, yeah, now I see. So that there is not a real difference between the light of seeing and the light of insight, we even call that, insight into what is God's possible will for me and what is possible with God. So maybe we could this time pray for the healing of our blindness that has become an obstacle to us seeing and knowing what God wants us to do, how God wants us to walk forward. I think we get also, maybe that's the blindness. I think we get blinded by the past and the failure, if you will, or regret, or grief, etc., so that we don't even see what's the use. God is probably done with me. God has probably done the best he could with me. I'm just a slug here. And so that attitude might be what we need to be healed, is so that our eyes and our hearts can be open to what the future that God has for us. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think especially the first reading too, it shows that God He loves us with such tenderness, and mercy, and hope. And so the more we're open to receiving that, the more we can find Him opening our eyes, Him healing our kind of past wounds and our different struggles. And so it's definitely a great reminder too to turn to His love and His healing mercy.
All right, great. So pray for your priests, pray for more priests, and pray for your own vocation and openness because God never stops calling us. No matter what our walk in life, there's still more of the road there to follow Him. All right, take care.
See you.